Okay, so we're reaching the point where we're going to start to dive into heavily the operational side, where we're going to start to talk about projects, tasks, timesheets, support tickets, these types of things. But let's first look at projects, and I'm going to start with an overview in this video, and then we'll break it down more specifically. So, a project, whether you are a lawyer, engineer, business consultant, construction company, or some type of tradesperson or trades company, let me put it that way. A project is what you could be working on because you've agreed to a fixed amount of income or a part fixed, part flex amount of income, but it's on a specific topic. Could be multiple sites that you maybe need to install cupboards in. It could be that you're doing the plumbing across an entire building, like an apartment building. It could be different cases with the same client, right? A great reason why you want to manage it as a project is because in one spot, doesn't matter whether it's a property or it's, for example, a case or a specific consultancy issue, you can keep everything from all the tasks related to that project, doesn't matter who's doing it, all the timesheets that everybody's, the amount of time that you're spending on it because you're billing per time. You can also show, for example, your project, and you can look at the milestones, your project according to the milestones, because maybe you've agreed, like sometimes in building, we've agreed that we'll get payments in certain tranches, where certain sections of work there is. I mean, sometimes we do that in IT as well. Okay, then also it's a place where not just the staff, but the clients also can store documents, images, videos, doesn't matter what type of sort of resource it is or file it is, and you can choose whether or not that is available to the customer or not, if it's internal. You have one place where, related to this specific subject, you can have discussions. And I always say to people, make your discussion topics either about a milestone or about a task, so that you know what discussion is there, because sometimes clients make major decisions in a conversation, and you want to make sure that that conversation is all in one place, instead of wondering, oh, did they WhatsApp it to me? Was it a text? Was it a conversation actually on a phone call? Or maybe you don't have a record of it, but this creates that space. You want to sometimes look at your project in a Gantt view. You want to see, okay, if I lay the foundation, what gets done where, to see it over time. Some clients like that. When there's specific issues on a project and you need to log tickets for support, so for example, there could have been a flood to rain if you're working a specific case, or maybe something happened in the business issue that you're working on, and you need it now to do additional work, and maybe that is billed differently to the client and it's tracked differently, or it's outsourced to different people. You want to keep the contracts particular to this project in one place. You want to be able to track all the invoicing and expenses that goes through on a specific project, um, and as well as you have notes on this project that you don't want anybody to see, so that's personal notes, and you can look at the activity. The awesome thing as well that you get with projects is you of course get the ability to control what your client sees, what comments they can make. And I always switch off comments, because I'm like, customers should be having discussions, and comments are for either subcontractors or staff members to talk into. And then of course you have the ability to see your overall projects list. The tasks in those projects become part of your normal task list, which is much easier for your resources to manage. When you look at one client, you can give every project that you're working with or different service that you're providing to that client a focus, because sometimes also it is a different team that engages on different topics with a client or different services. And then of course you can also overall see how a project how beneficial or profitable it was at the end of the day, because you're measuring your time, your tasks, everything that went into it against, of course, what you've been able to bill against it. So having this type of overview or on a project, and not just on an overall business like sales minus expenses um, section, actually lets you know what, I should be doing more of these projects, or maybe I shouldn't be doing these projects because doing a different type of project or service is of a lot more value for me. So in our next video, we'll do a much deeper dive in it.